Afternoon. My name is Joshua Woody, and I'll be explaining where you should put your money and why. We all want to make $1 million one day. We want to put our money somewhere it grows, but at the same time, that's not. We know the world doesn't work that way. For my ambitious people out there that want to make it happen, though, I used to have a business when I was younger, extremely profitable reselling, and the percentages of businesses that fail over a 15-year period, 80%. In a 10-year period, 65%. And as time goes by, the gap widens. My business ended up failing over time because I took everything and I put it in an index fund. Even though I was profitable, I seen even more upside in something else, so I went and ran with that. Today, I'll show you why index funds protect your money better than if you try to put it elsewhere, like in bonds or in cash or inflation, as this chart clearly shows. I'll show you why they grow your wealth more reliably and trustworthily because you won't have to worry about your different emotions and stuff and the different human things that are out to get you in your brain, and why they're the easiest investment for normal everyday people like Joe Schmo and Jane Schmo. We're not Einstein. I'm not Einstein. You're not Einstein. But at the same time, we can make a lot of money and beat the people that are trying to be Einstein, you know? But on that note, let's get started with the knowledge to build your own wealth. Index funds protect your money better than picking individual stocks over time. When you pick one stock, your entire investment depends on that. If that stock dies, your money's going to die with it. Over 80% of people who try to pick stocks end up losing their money. Over a 15-year period, you only have a 30 to 40% chance of being profitable at all. That means you have a really big chance of losing all of your money. Let's say you're on year 14. You have a 70% chance of losing all of your money in that next year if you keep doing what you're doing. Well, if you want to go with that, be my guest. Yahoo Finance, one of the biggest firms, backs me up. They say that most stock pickers, including professional hedge funds, fail to beat simple indexes over time. And that goes to show. Now that I've told you about why you should choose index funds over anything else, like the next big AI stock or something, I'll explain why index funds are more trustworthy. It's because they follow rules and not emotions, like the Terminator. Terminator, you tell it to kill, it's going to kill. It's not going to think about anything else. If you tell your investment portfolio to grow, it'll grow. And you have to be able to tell it that. You need the knowledge and you need to know the different types of funds to put into that. Humans panic, we chase hype, we get greedy, and we make emotional decisions. And index funds don't. They follow strict guidelines and certain metrics like growth. One of my favorite, I put most of my money in Vanguard's growth ETF because over time it will grow, along with the S&P 500. That's one of the biggest metrics. According to Morningstar, this is one of the investment firms that everybody looks to for advice, and they rate firms and everything. They rate VUG of 5 stars out of 5 stars, but they say emotional decision making, especially panic selling, are one of the biggest reasons individual investors lose money. Excuse me, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. During the 2008 crisis, when a bunch of people lost their money, they started panicking in the stock market, and the stock market declined by 55%. Imagine I tell you to invest in something and it drops 55% and you lose half your money. You're going to think, oh my God, that one redhead kid, oh my God, I hate him. I'm going to need my money back. You're going to sue me. But if you would have kept your money over the next 15 years, like I told you, instead of selling your money, you would have been up almost 1,000%. And that's extreme growth. Like you need to follow that. The proof is in the pudding. But at the same time, you probably see all this and you don't want to get caught up in like sitting on a screen. And I don't sit on the screen all day neither. I just invest in index funds. The chances the S&P 500 is profitable over the next 15 years, 99%. So that just goes to show it's almost 100% that I'm right and everything else is wrong. So yeah, you should just put your money in an index fund instead of individual stock picking because you're going to waste your time. We're young, we have a lot of time. Old people don't have a lot of time, but this is a strategy for everybody. The final point I want to make is why index funds are perfect for everyday people. Index funds are the easiest investment for normal Joe and Jane Schmo, me and you. Most people don't have time to study investments, and they might ask, "Oh, what even are index funds?" Oh, and at the end of this, they might not know what an index fund is. And the point being, you should do some research on what an index fund is, but you don't need to know too much. You just put your money in, and it will grow over time. Excuse me. This is a chart showing the different sectors. You could do some research on this. I wouldn't say put any money in it, but if you really want to get into this space, this is where I would start for sure. But back to index funds, where you should put your money that hold all of this in the first place. The SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, basically the government for stocks, they do the insurance and everything. They say that index funds are specifically recommended for beginners because they require little ongoing decision making and offer broad market exposure with minimal effort. And that is just those are just the perfect words for people that want to get into the space but don't have the time to do all this research. I don't have a bunch of time. I have a daughter. I have things to do. And yeah, but to the sweet stuff of the VTI is the total stock market. That's one of the best things to invest in. Anybody will recommend that to you. That's buying the total stock market. Stock market has been going up a lot over the past like decades and stuff, so that would be good to invest in. VOO is a little more concentrated in the top 500 companies, so there is more risk, but there is a lot of upside. You see how good the chart's been looking since 2020, right? Anytime you heard the stock market down, they were lying to you, right? But yeah, those are just two funds that I like. VUG is a big one for the young people out there. That's a big one. That's next. You should do your research. But in conclusion, investing in index funds is one of the smartest and safest ways everyday people can grow their wealth. Index funds protect your money better than picking individual stocks following the next big trend. Index funds are more trustworthy because they follow rules, not emotions. And if you want your money to grow without stress, index funds are the easiest and best way to get there. Thank you so much for your time.